With a total population of nearly 180 million, Pakistan ranks as the sixth most populated country in the world. It is also one of the youngest countries in the world. More than half of the total population is less than 20 years old. That can be an asset or a liability, depending on how we choose to deal with the situation. In the next few years, a young, literate, skilled workforce could lead the country to sustained economic growth. Literacy rate is directly related to socio-economic development. An overwhelming majority of the children is enrolled in public schools because most parents cannot afford private schooling. But the public school system is in dire straits. Crumbling infrastructure, untrained teachers, and lack of resources to provide even the most basic needs of the children in primary level schools. Poverty has lessened the chance of young children to secure their future with quality education.
Motivation behind PEN really was that unless we come up with a model that on a large scale addresses the issue of quality as well as quantity in terms of education, especially at the primary and secondary and high levels, as a nation we are falling behind very rapidly compared to our peers. So it is extremely critical for us as a nation to frankly focus on primary education in particular. And the interesting fact is that primary education actually has the most impact in terms of socio-economic factors. It has, as they say, the biggest bang for the buck, if you will.
The Progressive Education Network has a goal to increase enrollment and improve the quality of education through public-private sector collaboration by leveraging the existing public sector infrastructure.
PEN is not an NGO, and this is for a very deliberate and specific reason. PEN is a Section 42 non-profit corporation, and what that really means is that we have voluntarily subjected ourselves to the highest level of scrutiny that any public company would go through in terms of our accounts, in terms of our governance, in terms of our procedures. So we are governed by SCCP, but as a non-profit entity.
With a two-pronged strategy to tackle the daunting challenges, PEN has focused on academic initiatives and infrastructure rehabilitation at PEN-adopted schools to bring them to a minimum acceptable standard.
Our focus is really that while we will cater to those basic necessities, we are going to look at the dynamics of what goes on inside the class, the relationship between the teacher and the student.
My name is
Ashfaq Ali goes to the government primary school in Tayyat village on the outskirts of Lahore. A year ago, his school was adopted by PEN under an agreement with the government. Mrs. Vahida is a dedicated teacher who has been trained by PEN during the summer in their teacher training program.
अब मैं लाहौर में गवर्नमेंट गर्ल्स प्राइमरी स्कूल में हेड टीचर हूँ। अब हमारा स्कूल हमारी प्रोग्रेस एजुकेशन नेटवर्क वालों ने ले लिया है, उसको मज़ीद बेहतर करने के लिए वो बहुत काम कर रहे हैं और मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई है कि जो मेरा अधूरा शौक था वो पूरा होने लग गया है। और उन्होंने हमें स्कूल के लिए बच्चों के लिए कॉपियाँ दी, एजुकेशन किट दी, उसमें चार्ट्स हैं, बच्चों के लिए ग्लोब है, नक्शे हैं और मुख्तलिफ चीज़ें हैं जो बच्चों को तालीम में बेहतर से बेहतर होने के लिए वो कोशिश करेंगे कि उनको इस्तेमाल करके कर सकें। इसके अलावा उन्होंने हमारे स्कूल को पीने के पानी का प्रॉब्लम था, उसके लिए कूलर दिया, वाइट वॉश करवाई और सफाई का सबसे बड़ा मसला था, उसके लिए उन्होंने विज़िट किए, देखा कि बच्चे सफाई करते हैं, उन्होंने हमें एक आया रख के दी है।
On the academic side, Penn has provided teachers training, the essential teaching aids, free notebooks, and additional teachers where there was a shortage of teachers to all of their adopted public schools. For increasing enrollment and reducing dropout rates, they have carried out an aggressive enrollment campaign in the communities around their adopted primary schools.
पेन वालों ने स्कूलों में बहुत ज़्यादा फैसिलिटेट किया है। स्टूडेंट्स इनरोलमेंट में इंक्रीज़ करने के लिए बहुत सारे इक़्तिदामात किए हैं, हमें बैनर प्रोवाइड किए हैं, जिसकी वजह से हमने गांव में कैंपेन की है, लोगों को जाके तालीम की अफादियत के बारे में बताया है। प्राइवेट स्कूलों में जो बच्चे ज़ेर तालीम थे वो लोगों ने वहाँ से उठाकर हमारे स्कूल में दाखिल करवाए।
This was part of a larger campaign to increase enrollment because poor parents see free notebooks and English medium education as an incentive to send their children to school.
कागज फर्क है वे कि हाले कि इंग्लिश सही नहीं पढ़नी आती है साडी ख्वाहिश है कि इंग्लिश सही पढ़े उन्होंने हाले इंग्लिश नहीं पढ़नी अच्छी आती दीपा हाले इंग्लिश नहीं अच्छी पढ़नी आती है फर्क है।
Penn works with Ali Institute of Education, a premier institution of teachers training and the prestigious Lahore University of Management Sciences. Trainers from these institutions have provided comprehensive training to the teachers of the public schools. Along with these premier institutions, Penn has a dedicated staff of master trainers in its teaching and evaluation department that offer pre-service and in-service training to the teachers.
We want to really refine our teacher training effort. We're already doing it, but we want to make it an established part of the teacher's calendar, the education department's calendar as well. We do trainings on Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays. We do 2-week trainings, at Ali Institute during the holidays also. In the short term, we also want to make sure that we adopt our second set of schools.
In less than a year, these initiatives have yielded results. Head teachers now proudly proclaim increase in enrollment and retention rates are beginning to show improvement.
Our goal really is that we want to be able to show that the model we have adopted works in such a fantastic way where you take existing infrastructure and you leverage it and you focus on increasing the quality of the teachers and bringing the students back into the net using the same infrastructure but elevating it to a basic level of acceptance. That is where you get millions and not thousands of students into the net. So our target in 10 years' time is frankly that we should be running anywhere between 500 to 1,000 schools.
This is a long-term effort, but a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Come join us on this journey.